Sorry. I was just laughing at that. Thank God we run dual backup on these things, man. Uh, I apologize to anybody who wasn't listening to us because half the network probably wasn't hearing us there for an hour and a half, so or at least an hour. I apologize for that, guys. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but
we weren't live, right? Like that whole first hour, we weren't live, were we?
It's not here. We weren't. When I came back and looked, it said, I said, what the? And that's a God only can be on me. No, guys, there's only no. There's no mysterious. Either you click the button or you don't click the button. So I got to take the fall for that one. Shit happens sometimes, but we do run on a backup, so that's nice. So I know the Podbean people and all heard us and everybody. So everybody but Roku and YouTube and Facebook didn't hear us, which kind of sucks. Well, no, we had the big audience. That's because the audience that's different. That runs off a different feed. Yeah, the big audience comes from the underneath feed. So yeah, the feed that
like
runs,
the radio, right?
Yeah, so that part they could hear us on because it's off a different feed. But no, you didn't get to see our lovely, beautiful faces, and that really hurts my feelings. I'm going to be upset all night over this now. And the sad part is there was 4 of us in here, and none of us seen that damn blue. That button wasn't red. Oh, guys, it happens. It's because I was confused. I was confused. We were getting regular feedback, but then there was a whole group that was missing, and now I know why. Because y'all didn't think we was on air.
Nobody heard you laughing at
somebody
breaking into Nancy Pelosi's house.
We're gonna have to buy you an on-air red light to put like right above the alien's head there, so you'll know when you're on and when you're off.
Yes, for all you SoundCloud people out there, I'm glad y'all got to hear everything because y'all don't get to see us anyway, so it don't really matter. For our live feeds around the world, y'all don't get to see us either, so it don't matter. But for the people who get to see us, especially on our Roku audience, I apologize. Well, I mean, we're all sexy. Look at us, man. We're like, Jay's all shiny. Sean's like, hey. I'm like, hey, baby. He's all leans back. And I mean, we're ready. We're ready to party down. Well, y'all missed a lot of good stuff that we can't go back over all of it. You have to catch it. I'll put the 2 archives together so you'll have to catch it that way.
Yeah, I know, we're going to talk about war and electric cars versus muscle cars.
Oh, yeah. You missed a lot of good stuff about California. Oh, let's segue back to Cali anyway. So y'all can see it.
What's the point?
So I'm watching today. I'm like, oh, California, here I come. Ooh. I want that $25, and I looked at it. So you get 40 nuggets, no drinks, no fries, 40 nuggets, $25.
What?
McDonald's Chicken McNuggets.
Chicken McNuggets.
What?
Yes. And you can go get a Whopper with cheese. I think this one was in San Diego. No, it must have been in L.A. It was a Whopper with cheese. A fry and a Coke was $22.50. Wow. Now we're paying about
$20 an hour. You got to cover the $20 an hour for every.
That covers one person's shift. Yeah. That meal.
Kelly, I mean, y'all make it too easy for us to pick. You do you realize y'all like give information for the whole country to pick on y'all? I mean, think about it. You lost 2 million people in 2 years. You're scheduled to lose 2 million this year. I mean, you're paying ridiculous amounts of money to people who wouldn't even know what to do with it in the first damn place.
What's the sales tax? 9% or 12%? Something like that?
It's like 9%. It's like one of the highest in the country.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Illinois is 11%.
If you bought your house, relative in the past, in the past, the property taxes are actually really favorable, hugely favorable.
That's
if I lived in any other state, I would be screwed in terms of property tax.
I pay what? Oh, I forgot we're whatchamacallit exempt, so never mind. I only pay $500 a year in property tax, but that's because we're exempt. So
ours is like 2%, but it can't increase, and it's based on or not 2%. I forget what the percentage is, but your tax basis can't rise more than 2% per year. So if your house doubles in like 10 years, you're paying much less than you would if it was actually market value.
Well, yeah, and I can't, like I said, we're exempt, so it's a little bit different, but it's guys. So they were showing today, Texas. So this Texas real estate company put out this promo in California. So it shows what you can get in Texas for $369,000 a house, right? Big this thing's like 3,800 square feet monster house, right? So they go show you what you get in California for $700,000, and everybody's like, well, "Why are you still living in California?" I mean, it's like
because once you have one of those houses, it doubles, and the weather's better than the weather in Texas. I guarantee that.
Well, it depends what part of Texas you're in. Some parts of Texas don't have any bad weather.
Yeah,
it just depends where you're at. Texas is a big state. It's just like Cali. The ground don't shake underneath your ass in Texas either. That's just
you get tornadoes though.
Plus, gas is only $3 a gallon in Texas.
And hurricanes. You get the occasional odd hurricane fly up in there.
Well, no, really for Texas, if you live on the western side, anywhere on the western side of Texas from the bottom up, it's pretty mild. It's not real bad there. Of course, there's nothing out there.
Yeah, but the coastal area is racked with tropical and seasonal storms that are just,
No, they don't really ramp by. I mean, they usually go below that area and come up through the Houston area and places like that. Now they do get, like, if a cold front comes down from the north, but it never gets really cold enough there. Of course, now you do have to worry about 500,000 illegals crossing through your front yard. That could be an issue, for some people. They might not want to live in a place like that. So states are messed up right now. California's got all kind of issues. Now San Diego's talking about taking a Donald Trump approach and putting up a border, putting up walls on their border because, Texas is cracked down. And New Mexico was going to be all open border. All of a sudden, New Mexico is kind of like, maybe we should not let all these people through. Arizona's already like that. And whatever little piece Nevada has, I think they're pretty much turned into that too. Nobody wants that many people crossing through their territories anymore because they know what Texas and Florida is going to do with them. They're going to ship them up north. And I still remember listening to the Chicago mayor just 2 weeks ago going on and on about, we have so many illegals. Biden, you need to do something. And he's talking 4,000, maybe 5,000. So Governor, what's his name from Texas gets on. He says, we have 5 million. What are you bitching about? He said, just give me some time and I'll send about 500,000 up there. Then you'll have something to cry about. And it's true. It's the same thing. That's what Governor Hochul all of a sudden shut up. She was running her mouth, being hard ass up against the Texas governor. And then I noticed she just shut up. Yeah, because she knew it was coming. Endless busloads of illegals. What's that, Christopher? Oh, nice to see you. Oh, look, we got a whole group of new people hanging out with it. Well, that's cool. No, it's illegals are illegals. All my friends who came to this country legally are pissed. They're going to vote for Trump just because they're pissed. Yeah, because they had 7 years of bullshit to become an American, and yet you want to give these guys free money. And here, we're going to give you some money. Just make sure you vote this color when the election comes, which they don't even know what the hell you're talking about. So they're just going to click. Yeah, it's a 50-50 chance for y'all. But anyway, getting into some of the stuff I want to talk about. So I get this poll sent to me. I think it was this morning, or maybe it was I think it was this afternoon it came in. So a friend of mine sends me this. He goes, I want you to look at these polls and tell me what you think. So these come in. These are young voters. So we're going to go through. Well, right now they're saying that 38% of blacks are going to vote for Trump, maybe more. With that number alone, Biden's already lost this election.
That's a shoe in right there.
So now they're also saying 40% of Hispanics are going to vote for Trump. Well, that's even better. Well, here's the kicker here. Young voters trust Trump over Biden on two defining issues for 2024 election. These are two of the biggest things in the election. Getting prices down and securing the borders. A new poll revealed on the registered voters from
how young? Did they reveal how young these interviewees were, these pollees were?
These are Z-Geners.
So I have a question. How is the Israel-Palestine conflict affecting Biden's numbers in terms of like how Gen Z perceives him?
It doesn't look like, that's kind of weird because Gen Z hasn't really said anything about it. Most of the ones you see at the colleges or not X-Geners, or millennials, with a few X-Geners mixed in, which would be the teachers. But for the most part, that's who you see bitching about the Palestine thing. The Z-Geners have been kind of quiet about it. But on this poll here, which let me see how many they polled. They polled 21,000 people Thursday about a Democratic alignment poll. And, wait, this was a Democrat poll. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and what age range do they even give that?
They just say Z-Gen. That's what they say. They just say Z-Gen, which
that
is
could be anybody.
No, Z-Geners can't be anybody. That's got to be 26 and under, 28 and under, something like that, or 30 something and under. Z-Geners aren't up there in the numbers yet, in the age numbers yet.
Wonder if you pulled like the 18 to 20 somethings, what you'd get.
Well, that's what they're talking about. That's the Z-Geners.
No, it can't be that whole span.
They got to be. I would think 26 to 18 or 28 to 18, something like that.
That's a pretty large.
No, 10 years. No, that's not
maturity gap, though. I mean,
yeah, but that's not that big of a thing.
Down to like 18,
Are
19,
people still
20.
going to be voting in like 50 years? Like, is the idea of voting even going to be a practice anymore?
It might be done by mental telepathy.
So,
at some point.
Well, according to Klaus Schwab, the AI algorithms will be able to predict what the people want, and when they predict what the people want, they will vote for the people, and they will no longer have to vote because the
So it's all
AI
going to be
will
done
vote
by
what they
machine
want.
anyway.
So wait, here we go. Polling found that nearly every young voter, regardless what age, said 73 to 70% of all young voters said the economy was the biggest problem and Donald Trump could fix it. Didn't matter whether they were blue or red, by the way.
Yeah.
This was a Democratic poll that was taken. It was taken by a Democratic organization. And it found that many of them, that had to be just crushing for Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, that had to be just crushing. I mean, I don't know how you deal with that. According to data, only 13% thought Biden could fix the economy or make the border safe.
Yeah.
13%. I don't even know what to think about that. I mean,
it shows which way the country is swinging again. But is that what we're going to see come election night? We're going to see some more shenanigans,
Well,
so I just interviewed a guy. His name's Christopher Robinson. He worked for MI5, MI6 for like 20, 30 years. And he's a precognitive dreamer. Okay. And I'm not like, this is not funny stuff. He predicted the Lockerbie Scotland bombing. He wrote an affidavit that he had a precognitive dream about it, gave it to Scotland Yard, and then it happened. So he dreamed that, way back in 2015 or so, that Donald Trump wins 2 terms. Now, he was disappointed when he lost the second time. He's like, maybe my dream was wrong. I don't think his dream was wrong. The dream there was said 2 consecutive terms. So you have somebody who is remarkably accurate with precognition, who has kind of said that he's going to win. And all the data suggests that. So I don't even think they're going to be able to pull some sort of like national emergency where they stop the election or anything like that. I don't think the momentum is there for anything like that.
I think that's exactly what it is. So 6 months ago, you could have said, they might be able to pull something. But there's just so much energy towards Donald. And the more likely he is to go to jail, the more energy he gets. It's unbelievable.
He's getting free press. We've been seeing this all
along. It's more than that. It's more than that because
he's on top of the news and Biden's like down here.
Yeah, but it's way more than that. It's the downtrodden people feel like that he understands now that he's been falsely and wrongly prosecuted and persecuted. He's moving up way fast in the groups where whoever kept saying, he's racist. Well, maybe they're thinking maybe he's not. He's now, look, he might go to jail. He's definitely been false. No one in this country, no one, it doesn't matter who you poll, gives a shit about Stormy Daniels or what's his face. Nobody cares. Nobody thinks it should even be a case. Everybody in the country thinks the same thing. 80% now, with the included Democrats, say that this is definitely politically motivated to try to keep Trump from winning the election. Money.
that they
They
take
are.
from our income to do this.
But Vegas said he's going to be the first president that gets elected while in prison. I was like,
Yeah. Vegas said it though.
so Joe Biden said if he was to win that he would pardon him. So because we couldn't have a president in jail running the country. I was like,
Joe Biden said if he wins the
Pardon
presidency.
him for what? Doing completely illegal business transactions, or sorry, completely legal business transactions that everybody else does all the time.
I'm confused about this. And somebody said, well, Trump's going to get an appeal. And even if, because it's going to go to New York appeals court, he'll probably lose the appeal, but it doesn't matter because he's going to get another appeal that's going to go to the Supreme Court. And of course, they're going to be like, no. Where did you even trump up this bullshit? Excuse the pun. I mean, really. I mean, first off, all of this had gone way past the dates, way past. And then on top of that, they were all misdemeanors. And then all of a sudden, oh, screw the statute of limitations. It's a Fed crime now. He paid hush money out of his campaign money. No, that's not what anybody said. And that still ain't really what anybody said. So I don't know. And who's going to believe Cohen? I mean, come on. That would like believing that your viper's not going to bite you. I mean, give me just really. I don't know who would believe this guy. This guy has lied so many times about so much stuff, and you're going to go take him as gospel. And I'm listening to the New York Times. And, oh, yeah, he's a great witness, man. You heard him? Yeah, he really put the foot up Trump's ass today. Oh, man, he's got him. Oh, yeah. I would get concerned about that. But since I heard that for 3 years with CNN, I'm not as much concerned as I should be. I'm not sure what could keep Trump from being president. There's nothing in these felonies that actually could stop him from running. None of this is insurrection or any of those things. This is paying hush money to somebody. And I'm not sure if that's enough to keep you not from running for president. So, and the blue states, we'll just take him off the ballots. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? He don't need you. He's not going to get you anyway. Who gives a
people
shit?
Get out of court settlements all the time. Call it what you want. I mean, who cares? I mean, it's a non-issue.
But right now, in all the swing states, he is up by at least 5 points in every swing state, including the ones that were close last time. He is up. And I remember a guy from MSNBC this morning talking about. He's like, this is a landslide. He said, I haven't seen a landslide like this since Reagan.
Oddly enough, Joe, you got to check this out. You got to look at Jeff Pritchett's Facebook page. He put up a picture today of Bigfoot sightings, how they, largest sightings to fewest sightings per state, and it kind of looks like the Republicans are where all the Bigfoots are, and they're winning. So it's really cool. And some of the states that were swing states are the most Bigfoot sightings, and that was in the East Coast was Upper and Lower Michigan, Ohio, Georgia, and Florida have the most Bigfoot sightings. And then the Midwest had like 4 or 5 states. There was like a whole bunch of them, and then the entire West Coast, all 3 states.
Hey,
so they California should vote Republican this year. I'm predicting because of Bigfoot sightings.
Oh Lord, I'm not touching that one tenfold. Whoever sent me this link,
we can blame Jeffrey. He comes on the show before us, so he put the map up. But I just thought it was intriguing. It's like this kind of looks like the maps for red and blue for who's going to win the re-election this year.
Somebody just sent me this children's dating link. Why don't y'all give me a little bit more information on it? I don't want to be going clicking links like that.
Don't click on that. Do not click on that.
It's just a picture is all this is, but guys, I need information about this. I can't click links like that. I'm sorry. Elon Musk says he's going to marry Mark Zuckerberg. Really? Huh? I think somebody's having Mark. Are you having fantasies again, my friend? I think Mark is really having fantasies. There's been oh no, Jakes, we're not talking about that. No, sorry. We might do a specialty show on that kind of stuff, yeah. Because California is leading in changing the laws, but we're already into too much other stuff tonight. We'll save it for another show. I have to talk with the host about it first. Yes, because it's a very touchy subject and it's going to piss off a lot of people. And anytime we do shows like that, I like to make sure everybody's on board. Yes, but anyway, enough about all of that. What do you mean? Moving to Taiwan right now could be a good deal if Hong Kong is just going to be doling out money. Well, you know what, Mister Hong Kong, I can build some chips. Yeah, give me 100 million, give me 200 million. I'll move back to America. I'm out of here, buddy. I don't really know what to think about Taiwan. Taiwan does not want to be part of China. They've been free for too long.
Hong Kong, I don't think.
Hong Kong doesn't either, but Hong Kong's been beat down because we didn't give them back. The Brits gave them back.
The Brits caved in on that one, yeah, but it was in their contract, right? So
it was, yeah.
But they gave it away, or they gave it back.
Yeah, they got an island that had 3 buildings on it, and then gave it back to China with what on it? I mean, it's a massive. So what England should have done was say, okay, look, we have to tear all this down because this is not how the island was when we got it. And we don't want to give it back to you all polluted and corrupt up like this. That's what they should have done. And China would have been, no. And we just said, okay, well, we need to come to some kind of deal. Well, Chris, I got a lot of friends in China, so I don't want to see them getting shit on, but I don't want them also shitting on us either. So the game's got to be played out and leveled out.
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of friends from China that live in the United States now too. I got a lot of friends that live in Hong Kong, both Chinese, English, several nationalities, but because it's a tough thing. We want to play fair, but for some reason, when we play fair with China, they get stupid. Xi Jinping, I don't know if he gets greedy or if the Communist Party gets greedy, and plus, the free world really doesn't like dealing with communism. China looked good for a while because, oh, look, it's growing and the cities are great. And then when you get to China, you find out, there's 1.3 billion people and 350 million are living just like Americans, but the other 1 billion are not.
Yeah.
So, no, China is not the largest population anymore. India is. Yes, India passed them up.
I think Pakistan might be second.
Yeah.
Pakistan was up there too.
Yeah, they got more than we do, I think now. But
they're in the billions, or 800,000 or more at least.
But China is I think 1.35 billion, and India is like 1.45, 1.65, something like that. No, they passed them up, and so in the old days, I used to tell people this all the time: give India time, and they will surpass China in every aspect. And now that Microsoft and other big companies are in India just dumping money left and right, India has a chance of being that. Well, India's got issues like every country does. And they're still part of the Commonwealth. Yes.
Okay, here's the top 10 countries of by population for this year. India, China, United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, it's 5.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Nigeria, Brazil, that's a shocker.
Yeah, Brazil's big.
Bangladesh, Russia. Yeah, I thought they would have been a little higher. And then Mexico.
What's Russia? What is Russia like? 150 million or something?
Yeah, just call it 1.1444359.
Yeah.
Call it 100.
So just when Gorbachev took off, they were over 200 million. They're going down. Plus, their population is screwed up. See, where America has some squishy in-betweens, we have the baby boomers and the Z-Geners and what's coming underneath the Z-Geners, and we got some squishy room. Russia doesn't. Russia is basically half the country is baby boomers and the other half isn't. So they can't even field that large of an army. They could against the Ukraine, but not against us. Now,
in fact, I think like the place where they have the lowest point in the pyramid is like the generation that's like 20 years old, et cetera. So like the fresh population of soldiers just isn't there for the Russians. But I'm sure the Ukrainians have a very similar demographic profile.
Yeah, I'm sure they do too. China, I don't know. China changed their laws on they had a ban on breeding for a while, and then they took it off. And it doesn't seem to be making a difference because what happens in all free societies? We police ourselves. We come to a point where we don't need to have. See, in the old days, you had 8 and 10 kids, not so much because not because it was that way, because you needed them. You needed them to help plow the field. You needed them to help do this, do that, do this. But you had lots of kids for lots of reasons. Plus, the mortality rate wasn't the best back in the day. Let's be honest. So, the more kids you had, the more likely they were going to be successful. If you had a farm or anything else, the more likely it was going to get taken care of.
So they were just popping them out like every year.
Yes. But now in China, it's different. The Chinese people, the rich Chinese and the middle class Chinese aren't having a bunch of kids. They're having maybe one. And really the people in the farms aren't having a many because more and more stuff that was being farmed in mass in China is now being farmed in other places or being bought in other places. The South Americans farm a lot of food. In Brazil is an interesting place. It's about the same size as the continental U.S. with almost not that much smaller of a population. And you never hear anything about them, ever. Other than
I
they
hear
got a
that
crazy...
it's like dangerous to vacation there. If you want to get robbed, go to Brazil.
I've never heard. Now I heard they had a crazy president before they switched over, and I haven't heard of violence like you hear in Mexico and other parts of South America and other parts of Central and North America.
I don't know. I've been told it's all dangerous. Like I've been told, don't go to Jamaica, don't go anywhere in Mexico, don't go to Brazil, don't. Where is safe? I mean,
well, you can go to a lot of them countries. You just got to know where to go. You can't just go hanging out in the ghettos. And so if you go to Mexico City,
well then
Mexico City's got 22 million people in it.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. So sooner or later, you're going to run into somebody bad because, but because it's mirrored to the big old ancient Mayan city behind it, they are a little bit more laid back, I guess is the word I'll use. So you don't see quite as many. Certain parts of it's very violent, but a lot of parts is not. And there's lots of parts of South America that are actually quite safe, but there are lots of parts that Americans make good luggage. Actually, we make good ransoms is what we make.
All right. So here to answer Leah's question, these are the 10 most dangerous cities in the world.
Ooh, all in the United States.
No, you'd be surprised. It's not far from the United States. Los Cabos, Mexico; Caracas, Venezuela; Acapulco, Mexico; Natal, Brazil; Tijuana, Mexico; La Paz, Mexico. Let's see a pattern forming. Fortaleza, Brazil; Ciudad Victoria, Mexico; Ciudad Guyana, Venezuela; and Belém, Brazil.
So Mexico and Brazil, like
all in South and Central America. The 10 most dangerous cities in the world are right below us.
Obviously, they ain't been to Chicago or Detroit.
I guess not. Or DC in the 90s.
Well, when you ask what the 10 most dangerous cities in the United States are, a lot of times it's surprising. Because a lot of times,
like it's not safe anywhere. Have you seen some of the videos of like? I don't know. I saw some pretty scary videos of women in India, like certain parts of India. I think it was a TV reporter. She was a journalist, and the lights went out, like the spotlight that was shining on her. And dude, like all the men around her just swarmed her and started like,
That's why you gotta have protection.
Feel very uncomfortable.
That's why you got to have protection when you travel places, especially people in the press, because people in the press aren't always liked. And sometimes people are there for other people. So like if you're working press, and let's just say you're neutral press, and you happen to swarm into a BLM rally or a Donald Trump rally or a Biden rally, you could find yourself in shit real fast. Or even some of these stupid things, these Palestinian rallies recently, you could find yourself in shit real fast.
Are there any islands that are still like, is there anywhere on the planet where's the least frequented or least vacation tropical place?
Galapagos.
But that's
you can't
also
vacation there.
That would support life. Like you can
Galapagos would support life. You're just not allowed to go there. They don't want you messing with the animals. If you want to go somewhere,
I just find my own little private island and eat.
Well, you don't even need an island. Just go down to Antarctic for a while and hang out. Put your little cut up and do a little seal fishing and hang out for a while.
That's way too cold. No, I need tropical.
It's there's lots of tropical islands that are safe, but you still might find yourself getting eaten by somebody out there too.
Shark.
So, no, I'm not worried about the sharks. I'm worried about the people. Screw the sharks.
No.
I hear South Sentinel Island is pretty nice this time of year.
Yeah, they'll eat you there for sure. They'll eat you there for sure. It's a good friend of mine's like,
If they don't impale you with a spear first.
Is that the one that the
No.
missionary went to, trying to convert them to Christianity?
Yep, and they ate him.
you know,
Bro,
humans sometimes need to remember that everything is on our side.
no, I feel death around every corner, dude. It's scary. This scary world is brutal.
It's and that's why Martha likes to sit and babysit me. Even when I'm on TV, she's like, "Daddy, let me sit close to you." You can't even see her. You don't even know what she is right there when you look. You just know that's Martha
I carry
right
the
there.
Mystic Sword of Omens.
Yes.
I actually have 2 copies of it.
And this particular version of Martha, which is several versions of her, but this version has 31 rounds in her. Just ready to shoot somebody in the head. It's and she stays close to Daddy
will
all the
absorb
time.
31 rounds and shoot them back at the shooter.
You lucky I don't know what my damn lightsaber is. You gotta get up.
My lightsabers are right over there, dude. Bring it.
It's what are you talking about,
This
Pete?
actually is not just my office. It's my weapons room. Right, that whole rack there is all swords.
Whatever happened to Mumra?
He was one of the badass, mean guys on any cartoon ever. I mean, he never ever dies, and he was pretty ugly and scary looking.
I know. It's I guess when the cartoon went. Because y'all are idiots.
Lately,
That's
Hollywood's
why.
trying to develop a live action Thundercats, which should be pretty nice if they do it right.
They won't.
They won't.
It's
They'll
going
probably
to
give it
be
to
like
Michael Bay.
Broadway cats.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's
gonna be worse
not.
than
Oh
that.
no, that's not good.
It's gonna be like woke Thundercats. It's gonna be like the
Yeah,
Gelded,
especially if Michael Bay do it, he'll ruin it.
Is there ever going to be anything original? Like, I know like a few independent film studios have their own, there's like certain genres. I don't know I think the studio is A24. They make a lot of like thriller and psychological like thriller stuff, but what about just like outside of that genre? Is there going to ever be anything original that's not a remake or that's not a sequel or a remake of a remake?
It'll get better. It'll get better as technology gets better and AI gets better. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot more independent film producers that are like one person, and they'll compete with Hollywood because Hollywood's dying.
I heard.
Hey, Hollywood's on its way out. It's getting crushed by its own weight right now.
Basically, video games are going to be the new movies. Like the movies are going to be more like
video games. If you look at the market size of video games, it dwarfs Hollywood like movies. And then they make more money in video games now than they do in movies by far.
Yeah, so
it's
I
think I want to say it's like
video
double.
Games, and then video games is going to be more like real life, like integrative, virtual reality kind of stuff where you like are in it.
Yeah, so it's not going to really be video games anymore as you're thinking of video games. It's going to be more like a virtual world.
Yeah.
Where inside the virtual world you'll be able to do different things. You'll have different challenges.
Like Ready Player One.
Yeah, you can be in a game, you can just be walking around, you can be eating dinner, it's supposed to be, and this is what they've always tried to achieve, just a copy of our world, which allows you to do all sorts of things.
What's wrong with this world? While this world is sitting here deteriorating, this gorgeous planet with like weird animals and beautiful plants.
Well, think
is dying.
If you've got 4 billion of us sitting in a virtual reality, it'll give the planet plenty of time to heal, because there'll only be 4 people fighting around on the planet, and even then, a lot of them will be sitting at home.
They could fight wars virtually. They wouldn't have to go out and actually kill each other.
They're already doing that.
Yeah,
they're already doing that. Yeah, they're already doing that. That's what the Ghost Fleet we were talking about earlier is about. That's a whole fleet. Nobody's on board anything. We're just going to go blow their shit up. They're going to blow our shit up. It won't get serious again until we start killing people.
But that's still using like our tax dollars to go destroy shit.
It is, but it still saves our people from getting killed. So.
Well, you also have to look at it from the mentality of the military. Since they've already bought the ammunition, they have to try it out. And it's not a bad mentality, because if you don't try it out, your enemies aren't going to be afraid of you.
Oh, speaking of that, so they're pulling off the 155 millimeter cannons off of the Zimwalts and arming them with hypersonic missiles. So instead of having the whatchamacallit guns on them, they're going to have hypersonic missiles now. And,
so it's now a BBG?
You know, what do they call it? The CCS, actually, I think is what they called it.
CCS.
But anyway, yeah, it's something to do with hypersonic. Anyways, it's probably the name of the missile itself. But actually, whoever texted me that just now on Messenger, you can... hypersonic missiles aren't a new invention. Okay, small ones are. Big ones aren't. Because all ballistic missiles are hypersonic. Yes. Dude, when a ballistic missile goes into space, it's probably doing Mach 2, Mach 3. When it comes down, it's doing like Mach 26.
Oh,
yes. It's, you don't remember the shuttle missions when they come out of space, Mach 26 up to Mach 32. These are just basically falling from the sky things is what they are. And they're just steadily picking up speed. At 32 feet per second, they're just steadily picking up speed. That's what makes them so hard to shoot down. And then, and then now we have, like the Russians, we have multiple warheads. So it just umbrellas open and a whole shitload of warheads just come raining down. You might get some, you might get some, might not get some. Might get 5, 3 might hit the ground. It don't take much to start wiping out shit. So, New York, D.C., places like that, yes. But the president's not going to be in D.C. It don't matter what president it is, Joe Biden, Trump, whoever's president, they're not going to be in D.C. Most of the time, they're going to be up in an airplane unless it gets too hairy, and then there's several places they can go underground. Yeah. We've seen one massive one when, remember when the plane hit the building, where did they bring Joe Biden? Where did they bring our president? Where was he? Y'all know where he was? I know where he was. He was in the Salt Domes in Louisiana. That's where he was. And the big, huge facility down there, and it's all nuke hardened. They can nuke him all day. It ain't gonna hurt him at all. It's interesting stuff to me. Mm-hmm. That was.
Is
Bush.
it even possible to survive?
Yeah, it's possible. Oh yeah, yeah. Lots of people can survive.
Your own makeshift underground bunker. Like if you built your own bunker, if you
could build something.
Well, no, you have to go so far underground. You have to put so much thickness of concrete and lead.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, if you're in a rocky place, you can go under the rock bed. And most of the time, that'll save you. But that's not the real problem. Is power and food. I mean, you can regenerate water. You can regenerate oxygen to an extent, but you can only keep so much food in a bunker for so long. And then, I mean, you might maybe 5 years if you're really good at what you do. Maybe 10 if you're fabulous. But somewhere along the line, you're going to have to come out. And that radiation is going to be there for 10,000 years. So you're dead as soon as you come out. It's well, it might have been blown away. I mean, sweeping winds may pull the radiation out and dump it somewhere else. You don't know. You'd have to have Geiger counters set up on your roofs and stuff so you'd know what was going on. And you may not even experience radiation even if it nuked nearby you. It all depends on how the winds are blowing.
That movie with John Goodman, the Cloverfield one. I don't know if it was Cloverfield Paradox. No. Cloverfield Lane, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
it was one of the Cloverfield
there's like 3 of them. They have similar names, but I know what you're talking about.
The one with John Goodman?
Dire scum.
Isn't he so great? I love John Goodman.
I like him better in Fallen. He was awesome in that one.
I thought he was awesome in Speed Racer.
I liked him better drinking a hurricane.
No, he was Pops Racer. He was the best Pops Racer ever.
You guys watch the Righteous Gemstones?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did a while ago. I don't know if they still have it.
I don't TV or movies is something I rarely get a chance to watch. It's maybe late, early in the morning. Well, John Goodman I've partied with before, so that's not that big of a deal. But he was king on several parades down here. Several parades.
Is he from there?
He wanted to be from here. Let's put it that way. Let's just leave it at that. I don't know if he's actually from here, but he sure the hell wanted to be from here. That man could party like a madman. A lot of people come down here and don't want to leave. That's the problem with New Orleans. They come They come and they want to stay, but it's a different city now than it used to be. Everybody's not as polite as they used to be. It was before Katrina, and it'll eventually get back to that. But before Katrina, everybody, there was about 600,000 here instead of 3, and a lot of those people were really just nice, out to make your visit a good time. Now you got to watch who you're talking to, what you're up to. Certain neighborhoods you got to be careful in. But if you're in the Marigny or Uptown or St. Charles or the Quarter, you're safe. Nobody's going to bother you, because up there it's all tourist stuff. If you get caught effing with the tourists, you're going to jail for a long time. Not for a short time, but for a long time. If you want to go kill brothers and brothers or whites on whites, they don't care. You can do that all day long. But if you go start killing tourists, that's a whole different trick there, man. Dude, do not put up with that shit. Or killing cops. Either one of them will get you in trouble.
Yeah, you would hope.
Yeah, well, they tore up a whole project over cops, but we don't have projects anymore. We are the poster city for what a city should look like. So New Orleans tore down all the projects after Katrina, all of them, leveled them to the ground, and went back and started building apartment complexes, but not a regular. They built high-end ones. So where they've got like stores and restaurants in them and stuff. Mm-hmm. So what they've done is every other apartment is Section 8, and the other one is owned by somebody wealthy. And it's working real well, and these kids are being exposed to a whole different lifestyle. So they're not going to grow up as thumb shit faces. Now, the ones that live down in the 8th Ward or 9th Ward that's still living in homes, that's different. But everybody else is chilling. They're enjoying it. And it is helping the crime rate down here. But we still have
people probably don't feel so segregated or like separated by class anymore.
Well, in most time they shouldn't be, but sometimes people bring that on themselves. So if you look around the United States and you start saying how are cities broke up?
It's designed that way.
So if you go up to like Seattle, Washington, or Portland, Oregon, I got black friends that live in both. They will tell you they feel like the wick on the candle, because they ain't another one around for miles and miles and miles around. They're the only black candle in a white sea of candles. They're just, and when I talked to my friend Z, she is like, and she said, everybody's nice to me, but it's different for her because she's not African American, she's African. They came to Europe and then came to America, went to nursing school, got her nursing degree, got her doctor's, her doctor practitioner degree, went and got her PhD, became a real doctor, owns her own clinic. So she's different. So they look at her differently. And she's got that accent. You can tell she's not from the United States. Even all these years I've known her, over 30 years, her accent's still there. You still know she's not from the U.S. So people treat her differently. She said now, if you're an African American, they don't treat you differently. They she said they look at you like, what are you doing here? It's like no black people allowed where she's at. It's just really weird. She was telling me about it just recently. A couple of my friends in Portland the same way. They're like, Joe, not in Portland, Seattle. They're like, they look at it strange, like, what are you doing here? It's like they've never seen a black person before. I said, a lot of them probably haven't. And I said, they live right up against the Vancouver border, which is also where there's hardly any black people. But you come down south, like Jacksonville, Mississippi has the largest black population percentage-wise in the country. 94% of the population is black. And there's one in Georgia that's 98%, and there's another one in, I think, Detroit is like 97%. So, people want to bitch that no one wants to treat everybody right, but no, you're grouping up together. You're creating a problem. You're not trusting to go out and get into the rest of the communities and blend with the rest of the communities. You're making your own solid, it's basically a racist community, because in fact, there's no Hispanics, there's no whites, there's no Asians. I mean, what do you call that? That's pretty much racism any way you look at it. So since we're not fighting racism anymore, we're fighting classism. You have to wake up people sometimes and say, look, what are you doing? You're fighting the wrong war. This isn't about the color of your skin. It's about how much money you got in the bank. And if you haven't figured that out, you've already lost a damn war. Because nobody cares anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's racist, going to always be racist people on all sides. But no one really cares anymore what color you are. They don't care. When you call up Joe Schmo to come fix your act, you don't give a shit what color he is. He could be brown, he could be black, he could be freaking purple. As long as he's fixing AC in the middle of summer, you good to go. You know, when the guy's up there bringing your dinner to you, you don't care what color he is. Unless you're in just some high-end restaurant that only white people work there, you don't care. You know, so it's really more about class than it is about race. So, and we need to get back to that. And we need to start fighting the right war. Because if we keep doing this, people are just going to start grouping back together, and our country is going to look really spotty. You know, you'd be whites here,
Somehow,
whites
like,
here,
I
whites
know-
here,
I know-
blacks here.
I know that there are outliers and there are people that are, you know, not that are atypical for the standard, but how I feel like, you know, if it's a class war, how could it not be also a race war? Since the majority of people who are like really high, you know, paid CEOs of countries or businesses, you know, billionaires, most of them are white. know?
But that's not really true anymore. First
Yeah.
off, realize this.
In fact,
White
they're throwing
people-
in people, they're
Yeah.
throwing in people who are not competent just because of their skin
but,
color right
but
now.
think
Like
about
DEI
this.
Yeah.
There are only, out of 8.2 billion people on this planet, only 900 million of them are white. That's it. The whites are by far a minority. Any way you look at it, any way you slice it, they're not just a minority, but a big minority. So if you're going to go that way, they can already start screaming it. But the problem is so when you look at the NFL, which is majority black and majority making millions and millions of dollars a year, same thing with in any of the major sports in our country, almost all of them are major black and making big money. And it's not just that. Any cities like Atlanta or New Orleans where the mayors are black, the black people in those communities are thriving in a major way and almost in a racist way, because if you go to walk in one of their businesses, you're not going to see anybody other than blacks working it.
Very true.
So I mean, it's not like it used to
But they're
be.
owned by white owners.
No, they're owned by black owners.
The football players?
Yeah.
Basketball
Well, no, they're not owned by anybody. They're independent sports players. The teams are owned by somebody. But if you come to New Orleans, the majority of businesses in New Orleans are owned by blacks. The majority of businesses in Atlanta are owned by blacks. Same thing
So
with
I do got to
Detroit.
give that to you. I've never actually been. I've been to Georgia once, and it was only to the airport.
No, but it's not like it used to be in the old days.
East Coast busiest airport, Atlanta Airport. It's all,
And eventually there'll be more black NFL owners. I think there's only 2 right now. It's just like in the old days when there were all white coaches, and now it's about half and half.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you're fighting the race war, you've lost.
One of the teams has a female defensive coach or offensive coach,
Yeah,
don't they?
they do. So if you want to win this, you have to fight by who's got the money, who are the people controlling the power, and they don't give a shit what color you are. All they care about is you're doing what you're told. That's all they care. The Michael Gates, I mean, all of the Russian oligarchs, all of the big wops from India. And see, that's another thing. When you start talking about billionaires from places like, South America or Germany, not Germany, or Africa or places like that, they're going to be overwhelmingly are going to be black or brown.
I was focusing.
In the United States, it's going to be 4, but you see, it's not really, it's a more of a global market now. When we look around today, almost like us, we're not just going out in America, we're going out all over the place.
But
people all around the planet
don't we lead it? Doesn't everyone follow in the footsteps of like the trajectory that the United States pushes everyone in?
The United States and the EU. It's more of a combination of the two. Well, in Britain for some reason always people just love to follow Britain around. I'm not sure why, but they just love to follow Britain around. Mainly because the pound a lot of times is the most valuable money on the planet. Not all the time, but a lot of times. A lot more than the dollar is. So, I mean, we can whine about race until we're blue in the face. But I don't know, when it comes down to blacks on whites and whites on blacks, I never hear that kind of crime anywhere. It's a rare thing I've even seen. I did see one on YouTube today. On TikTok today or Instagram today. But for the most part, it's unheard of. When you look up crime in this country, you will find with blacks It's 88 or 90% black on black, and same thing with white, white on white. Same thing with Hispanic. That's where the majority are. They're not trying to kill the black man and the Hispanic man. They're trying to kill the other white man. They don't really give a shit about color because they just care about what kind of money you got, or what kind of TV you got, or what kind of car you're driving. We're too stupid to know that people up there are just pulling the strings, and we're just walking around like dumbasses.
Like marionettes.
It's like paying $25 for a hamburger at McDonald's. I mean, really, who the hell thought that was a good idea? And I heard In and Out today talking about they might have to move to Texas. I was laughing my ass off when I heard that.
In their defense, and I don't know, maybe Sean or Leah can answer this one. We have Red Robin's here, and now their cheeseburgers are now like minimum starting $13, $14 a cheeseburger. So, if you get a Big Mac here, a Big Mac meal here is about $12. That comes with fries and a Coke. Red Robin, you get an endless bucket of fries, but Coke is extra. So, I mean, think about that. I mean, when I was a kid, my dad shrugged. He was upset buying a cheeseburger for $5.95 at a restaurant versus the 65-cent cheeseburger at McDonald's.
I remember those days.
I mean,
I think with that, you're also paying for the experience. You're paying somebody else's rent for the most part. You're paying a low wage waitress.
Way to not do dishes at the house, and but $13 a burger. I can't imagine what a Red Robin would be like.
Wait, you see, and that's the funny part.
Bucks a burger.
The $20 an hour up don't help waitresses any, because waitresses are on a different kind of pay scale because they take tips. It's a whole different type of pay scale than it is. It always bothered me that they did that too. I'm like, why not give them full pay? But I guess if they did, plus they took tips, it would be just a lot of, I bitch, just the other day I was bitching. I ordered a damn pizza. I said, all right, I'm going to get a pizza. So I ordered my damn pizza between the delivery fee and the tax, that was $9. And when you add in the tip, that was $14. So this $7 pizza cost me $22. So I was
that's what I don't understand about like Grubhub and Uber Eats and all that.
That's even more when you do that.
Yeah, there's people out there who are paying like $30 for a combo meal from Taco Bell.
Dude, I get an Italian pie, 16-inch, just plain, from Arturo's Pizza around the corner. So it's 4 miles from my house, and it's like $16 before the tip. So I usually make it $20 for it, and that's a 16-inch pizza with 8 slices. That's a good meal. And with three toppings on it, it's like $26, and you can't beat it. It beats every like chain pizza store you ever heard of. Papa John's, Pizza Hut, name it. This guy beats it.
So did we talk? Wait, what was this one? Supreme Court deals crushing blow to Biden open border agenda. He said, "No, Biden, we're not leaving the border open. You freaking moron." I don't think they quite worded it quite like that, but that's really close. What was that, Chrissy? No, really. When I talk about it, I'm really talking about a class war versus a race war.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that people aren't going to experience racism. That's not what I'm saying. But okay, from when I was a kid to today, it's a big difference.
More like snobism.
So when I was a kid, if you were black and you lived in the city of New Orleans and you came into Jefferson Parish, the police would pick you up. They would put you in a car and take you back across the parish line. Oh yes. Our sheriff, who was actually Asian, was a prick and a half. It's the best way I can say it. And if you weren't just sterling white, your ass was going back to the city, because he believed you had no business here. You didn't have the money to be here. What were you doing in Mary other than looking to rob somebody? That was always his belief. Now, of course, he was wrong about most of the people coming over, but still. Now, today, blacks live in the parish with everybody else. Most of the apartment complexes these days are mixed, and they're not all white or all black. They're just mixed. It's a much different place, and it's much less crime because of it. Diversifying the city and changing the city and getting rid of the projects and turning them into apartments just changed everything. First off, it lets everybody live together. It doesn't matter what color you are. Everybody's living in the same place. So people learn to get along with each other. They learn tolerances, and the world becomes a better place. But I don't know how you're going to do that to places like Detroit or Chicago or New York. I mean, their projects are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, short of a natural disaster, I don't even know how you're going to do that. No, I just don't know how you can do it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see it happen. It's great for everybody. And New Orleans proved it, that it makes a big difference in the way we look at the world. But well, no, guys. I mean, it makes a big difference in the way we look at everything. Because when you're growing up next to this guy, he's getting in his Porsche every day, or he's getting in his Mercedes every day, and you're living next door to him, and you're being treated basically the same way. Because when you give out your address, people say, "Oh, you live there? Oh, okay," and you automatically get treated differently. It's a whole different world, and allows these children to really grow up in a different way, not being ridiculed because they're black, not being ridiculed because they live in a ghetto. Now they're actually being accepted. It's changing things. It's just changing things. It's nice to see that we actually tried to change things. What is that, Sarah? No, I mean, it's just New Orleans decided not to go back with ghettos. That's what New Orleans decided to do. Certain places, like they said, the Ninth Ward, there was not much they could do about it because those were all homes. But everywhere else where there was a ghetto, like the Desire Housing Project or the Fish and Housing Project, they were tore to the ground. Yes, just
Wow.
laid to rest. And what went back is beautiful duplex homings and stuff like that. It's just swimming pools, tennis courts. If you one time do graffiti, you're thrown off the property. Yes, they're very strict on it too. So everybody learns to behave. It's just a different way of life. I'd like to see it implemented across the whole country. It would revolutionize the way our country is. It would change us overnight. But
And it's not like there's not enough money to go
there's
around
enough
for
money,
those kind of changes.
but but those
Infrastructure.
those ghettos in New York have probably been paid for 50 years.
Yeah.
And they're just pure money makers. And then the Fed comes in or the state comes in and just pays the rent for everybody, so they just get big whopping checks. So that's another thing about Section 8 properties is they get max pay. So where you might have to haggle and do your rent at $850 or $1,050, instantly whatever the max rent is, like $1,250, that's what they're going to get. That's what they're going to pay these owners. And we're doing the crisis when everybody else couldn't get rent. Anybody who had Section 8 was getting paid every month. So it's not. There's no real reason for them. It goes back to the class thing. You got to get out. Somehow or another, you got to figure a way to get out. You can't stay there because you're going to get stuck. And if you get stuck, you're just going to grow up in the ghetto like everybody else and become a thug or something else.
Yeah, it's that unclimbable ladder.
Yeah, so then it makes it, in a lot of ways, it's what it is. So, but most of the time there'll be opportunities for people to get out and change things. It's just making sure you get to the right opportunity at the right time. What is that, Jeremy? I've lived poor and rich in between. Yes, I have. Oh yeah. I've lived in my car before. What are you talking about? Yes, and I've lived in some high dollar places too. It's just, just how life is. I'm in contracting, so it's feast and famine work. You're either making a ton of money or you're not making any. It's just how it is. Well, we do have a few other articles to go through. Oh wait, you know what? Let us take this break. Oh, I see Sean's already got a song popped up, so we're going to take a break right quick, and we'll be back in 4 or 5 minutes, and y'all can hang out, and we'll get into the polls and the election polls and tell you who's going to win this election and who's got the momentum and why they've got the momentum. You mean about the case in New York? Unless there's one hung jury on the case, one jury that just hangs out, I can't see how they're not going to go against Trump because this is all New York jury. As far as I know, this is not really a jury of his peers. This is a jury of just hangmen is what this is. So, yeah, that's why you used to call them hangman juries back in the day. That's what this is. Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of the things of being big and popular and getting your ass in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, I guess he could have just hung out in Florida. DeSantis would have protected him. He'd have brought the National Guard out to protect his ass. Oh, yeah, I guess because he likes him. But anyway, we're going to be right back. Want everyone to stay tuned to News on the Flip Side. Remember, I'm here tomorrow on the Arthur's Quill. Sean's on Sunday. You can come check him out in his wild man self. Jay's hanging out with Jeffrey on Friday night, so you can come check him out with his wild man self. Leah, you never know where she's at. She could be with any of us at any given time. So it's just one of those things. Anyway,
I float around.
Okay, I'm good. All right. Anyway, we'll be back in a few minutes. No, I have no idea what he picked. So y'all will find out just well. Damn, I'm getting tongue tied, man. Leave me alone, people.
They're fine. Are you doing B? Oh,
Oh, sorry, I got carried away there. Welcome back, everybody. What is everybody doing out there in the crazy world tonight? All kind of good, interesting stuff popping around. That was, I don't even know what that was. You'd have to ask. I was just listening. I was actually in the front listening. You know, I got a stereo, so I can always have to listen through the headset.
Rage Against the Machine, killing in the name of.
you didn't know who that was, Joe?
I knew it was Rage Against the Machine because I'd seen the title. I just didn't know. I mean, I'd seen the thing earlier, but I just hadn't seen the title. Oh, why am my cans not on? Oh, there I am. Hello, yes. Anyway, well, welcome back, everyone. I hope everybody's been enjoying this show. I know we got over 3 million listeners, so somebody's got to be enjoying the show out there. And people, what is it with your scary asses about coming and using one of the Facebook pages or one of the YouTube pages? I think y'all are just scared of Sean is what it is. Oh, it's a J. Is that what you're scared of? Oh, because he has a Thundercat sword. Oh, I didn't know. Now I understand. Okay. It makes sense now. Well, I see like one of y'all on the board right now. I see like 30 in my messenger and one over there. That's just sad. Don't be scared. Leah only bites if you, well, we're not going there, but she's an alien, people. I can't help that. She's a freaking alien. Yes, she is an alien. No, she really is. But anyway, let's. So I want to go back for a few minutes before we get into the polls and stuff. I want to go back and talk about. I was reading some more about this young people's poll. So when I was reading through the poll, it's like 80-something% think Trump can clear up the board, and it clearly says Democrats and Republicans. It looks like, because of the name of the polling company, it looks like the majority of the polling is Democrats. So we're talking not really a mix here. We're talking Democrat youth is going to vote for Trump because, well, Joe Biden, you scared the shit out of him. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And that's the truth. That's what happened. You scared the living shit out of everybody under the age of 26.
They can't buy as many video games as they can today as they did under Trump. So they're voting for more video games.
And by the way, it was, I had the age wrong. It was 26 to 18. I don't even think these are Z-genders.
That's still a pretty, I mean, 18, you think way differently from when you're 26 versus when you're 18. So if you narrow that gap down.
When I was 18 and when I was 26, I was pretty much thinking about the same thing. I can't tell y'all what it was because it'd be offensive to some people, but
I was the same way I am now.
Yes.
I didn't change.
That's even worse. Where's Mrs. Sean? Mrs. Sean, has he been giving you hell, baby? We will put the monkey on it. What do you mean, Chris? I'm talking about his wife, doofus.
Well, actually, I'm Mrs. Sean tonight. I don't feel like he, him. I feel like a she, her.
Oh, shit. So. No, shit. Remember, if you have a gripe or a complaint or a moan, put it at attention, Sean, Michelle DeRoche. Yes. No, all mail goes to Michelle DeRoche. All mail.
Also, I'm feeling like a wolf tonight. I'm not feeling human. So,
that also goes to Michelle.
That's right.
Yes, I can't speak for these people. Yes, I can't say nothing. I used a he/she bathroom when I was in Los Angeles, so I cannot say I'm guilty. Look, people, there was lines coming out of both bathrooms. I looked over and I see this one. I'm like, what does that say? I'm like, shit, watch this.
I understand. I've used the family.
So, Joe, you're that guy. You're that guy that whips it out right in the middle of a women's bathroom.
I was like, man, look, I gotta go, man. I gotta go. LA is too much for me. It's
This is like the Empire Strikes Back for feminism.
Yes. Well, when all this started way back under Obama, I used to say, if this is going to work, we're going to have a third bathroom. We're going to have we need 4 bathrooms, but we'll just say 3. Because as a dad, well, now my kids are grown, but as a dad, I got to tell you, If my two daughters, were say 7 and 8 years old, and they were in the bathroom peeing, and some guy, say, 12, 14, 15, 16 came in, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. I'll be outright honest about it. I'd be pissed. I would probably be pissed enough I'd be slamming somebody's head into a wall. No, it's not that. It's just, it has nothing to do with he, she, or anything else. It has to do with that age group of child really does not need to be exposed to that.
And there's also men who are taking advantage of it. They don't.
And
They don't
also,
really believe that they're a man living in a whatever it is. They don't.
Yeah.
There's people who have, that's what they
Well,
believe.
I like the Los Angeles
should
rule.
feel that way.
If you think you're a female, you can go to female jail now. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that every male and it's not over there. I mean, really.
Well, it's already backfired. Within months, some male prisoner who said he was feeling particularly feminine was then housed with the female population. He got a girl pregnant, and they both went up for charges because it's basically statutory rape. They're not allowed to have sex because they're prisoners, and yet she got pregnant by him. And that was a huge thing. I don't know what, 2 years ago, maybe.
He didn't use the Immaculate Conception defense. That's what I would have done.
I don't think so.
It's well, in the South, depending on what you're in jail
for
for.
that to work.
Well, depending on what you're in jail for down here, you can get conjugal visits.
Yeah, but they weren't conjugal. So prisoner on prisoner, it's considered statutory rape, even by federal
that is
law.
by definition conjugal, but it's just not approved conjugal.
Yeah, it's not approved.
Did you guys hear about Idaho?
No.
We're gonna let that all slide because you said Idaho, but go ahead.
Yeah. Apparently, Idaho is the first state to ban the use of preferred pronouns in schools, like in public schools.
Oh wow!
So they are going by what it says on the birth certificate, and they're doing away with the theys and thems and she's and.
Oh, Mississippi's already done it. They passed it about 3 or 4 days ago. They said, no more of this. Whatever you're born with, that's what you are. Too bad, so sad. Get over it. Most of the South is going to follow that line. You're going to see what you're going to really see in the United States. It's like the new gun thing. So 29 states now have open carry, no license, concealed, and open carry. So you don't have to have a license in these 30 states now and carry your pistol. It's going to get up to about 38 states, maybe 36 states. The other 14 states are hardcore liberal states. Are never going to change their rules, but these states have. And it's just, so when you see this with the bathroom thing, they're doing the same thing. Whatever you're born with is what you are. And it's, that's what the states feel. And that's what's so funny. Because if you go by population, these people wouldn't have a choice. But if you go by the number of states, they've got it whooped. I mean, there are 36 of the 50 states. So that's a big majority. So it's just, the whole thing is fucking strange, actually. Now, I frankly don't know how to get away with a lot of this stuff, but the fact that we actually have people in our country that think like some of these people do scare me. It comes right out of
most people are afraid. You have a very small population that has an outsized voice, and then there are people who are just scared of, or they want to look like they're the most progressive, they're the most open, and things like that. But at some point, it starts to get, you start to have people like, it's perfectly fine to have a relationship with a child. You're like, what? Excuse me? Like, that's where we're heading right now. And
it's scary.
It's getting weird.
It's getting scary.
Well, and on the gun issue, I don't think it's just. I think it's more ignorance, and people just aren't educated enough about firearms and handguns. There's so many people that are steadfast against them. They haven't done the correct research. They just feed on what the media tells them. But if you do the research, most places that have open carry have far less crime. I mean, think about it. If you're a bank robber, you walk into a bank and there's 3 dudes in line that all have pistols on their side. Are you going to wonder if they're going to shoot back at you, or are they going to let you rob the bank? No, you're going to go into the next bank and the next bank until you find people with no guns. Why do mass shootings happen in places where there are no guns?
So Louisiana's a little strange. So they have open carry and everything now, except schools, banks, and
Right. That's
casinos.
exactly my point.
They don't want them carrying. They don't want them
Basically, they don't allow
carrying those
guns.
three people. They're like we don't want you carrying them in those three. Now Mississippi don't care. You can carry them everywhere, but the casinos banned them, not the state. The casino said you can't come in if you're carrying a pistol. It's because it was a big hubbub because some guy went outside and got his 12 gauge and walked in with it. As he said, well, the sign said a pistol, sir. Cops showed up. But the cops really couldn't do anything because, it's open carry. And then some of these open carry people take it crazy, like this guy. He had his bulletproof vest on, his bulletproof leg guards on. He had his face helmet on. He had two pistols here, AK in his hand. I'm thinking, dude.
That's a little extreme.
And I'm thinking, and people, you want to know why people don't want you to have a gun. Okay, and where are you going today? It's strange. I mean, I carry mine. Sometimes I carry open carry. I got 2 380s that I usually carry concealed. If I'm going to carry concealed, I usually carry them concealed. But Martha's too big. I mean, you can carry her concealed. I mean, she's a monster. And this has got the guard on it, but she's a monster, man. She looks more like a 45 than she does like a.
It's about the size of my Beretta.
It's
Maybe a little bigger.
This is of course this is Turkish made. So it's a Turkish made. It's I forgot what they call them now. Canica. It's a same people who made the AK-47s. It's the only thing I don't like about it is if you shoot a low powder round in it, it wants to jam. The guy says it takes about 500 rounds before it loosens up enough that it won't jam. He said, but if you use the 2 upper rounds, you don't have any problems, which is what I did. I just switched them over and increased the powder. So, and they're badass, man. They'll knock you down. They're, you know what they were for, right? They're target pistols. They're actually not target pistols, gaming pistols. They're for competition pistols.
Yeah, so a little more precise than.
So what they did was so these people used to go buy a Glock and spend $2,000-$3,000 getting their Glock where they could go shoot. So Canica just designed this gun to be like the $3,000 Glock. Man, this thing has won so many tournaments. It's not this one, but the company itself's won so many tournaments with this gun. It's ridiculous, and it's not an expensive gun. It's less than $1,000. It's Jack, less than $1,000. Trust me, when you say less than $1,000 for any kind of pistol, it's cheap. The Colt 911, I think, is $1,500, and it only even holds 9 rounds.
You can get a good Colt from Springfield, I think, starting at $859.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good guns out there. No, we don't advocate the use of guns, people, unless you're target shooting, and then we don't really, don't blow nothing up.
I should one show I should get it and let you look at it. I have one called the Steyr Mannlicher M9. It's a 9mm semi. It's partially synthetic, like the grip and the slide frame are.
Oh yeah, because I know what you're talking about. Because I got a Ruger like that.
It was designed by a guy who worked at Glock, and he had this new design for a new trigger, and he's like, "Hey, what can we offer this trigger in this design?" And they're like, "No." So he walked across the street from Glock to Steyr in Austria. I mean, they're literally across the street, like 2 blocks away. Walked over to them and he said, "Hey, you guys want to build this?" And they said, "Yeah." And boom, he sold it right away. And it's a fairly accurate, right out of the box gun. I mean, it's.
That's why I like this. When I took it,
I don't have to pick my eye; it just automatically goes to my good eye every time I hold it up. It's the best weapon I have.
I went and took it to the firing range the day I had it pop out, baby. It was very comfortable, very accurate. Now a friend of mine bought me. It's a dual canister one. It holds up to like 150 rounds.
Oh, a snail drum magazine.
It just slaps in the bottom with 2 dual canisters. It's kind of cool because you can set it down on something on the canisters. It gives you kind of support.
It's kind of weird on a handgun. It kind of looks like nuts, but on a
it kind of does.
On a Thompson, it looks badass because they're like they have.
So I got 2 of those with 150. It came with 2 221s. And then I bought 2 31s and 2 50s, and they're all loaded. Plus, there's a couple hundred rounds laying around. It's people, if you're gonna own a gun, you got to keep the damn thing armed. But I'm funny. I don't like to carry it because the new pistols don't come with proper safeties. Unless you've got one with a handle on it, they don't really come with proper safeties anymore. They come with them stupid trigger safeties, which are garbage. Yeah, they're just garbage, and it's like not having a safety on your gun. Oh no, it's garbage. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter which one it is. My son's got a Glock 20, and his wife thinks got a Glock 45. We've got this one. We've got the Ruger 9mm. But actually, the Ruger 9mm hit it's got a handle on it. I mean, a pullback. So that gun is badass. The handle's plastic. The top's plastic. Matter of fact, the only thing that's metal is the working parts. Everything else is some kind of composite. And the guy showed you how you can even take the piece out the center and just set it into something in your luggage, like it's just metal or something, and the gun wouldn't even be noticeable. They wouldn't even see it. It was like, Jesus, people. That's like them stupid ones they were making off of those printers. Those one-shot 9mm plastic 9mm garbage guns. They were being made off those whatchamacallit printers. I was like, who the hell knows how to do this? Hold on, guys. We got to get to the polls, but we got to get to this one first. Where is this? What did I do with this article? I just had it in front of me a minute ago. Let's go find it. So this I found interesting if I can get my damn fingers back on it. Where it is. No, that's not it. That's not it. I don't know what the hell that is. Now that was interesting too, but that's not what we're looking for. Kremlin tension World War III is coming. Biden is clearly obsessed with the polls. We already read that, Biden. Get out of here. Coastal cities awarded $500,000. We don't really care. Unless they're giving it to Leah, then we might care. Where is this at?
I wish. Give me all your money. Give me your money.
Oh, no, this ain't it. Where the hell? So I don't know what I did with this article. Anyway, this article is about they found all these planets with what they around the sun that or the stuff around the sun that they think is mechanical. I don't know what the hell I did with it. So this is the Kepler one. We already talked about it. I guess I accidentally closed it. Fox New Rip House Oversight. We don't give a shit about that. Maybe. Where the hell did this go? Oh, this is take a look at the mighty Dragon China $120 million stealth type 5th generation fighter. It looks cool. It looks like one of ours.
Of course it does.
It's Kremlin warns tension in World War III. Discovery of new biological law may explain aging and evolution. That could be interesting. We've talked about that. I don't know what I did with it. Well, son of a bitch, that just irritates the hell out of me. It's man, I wanted to talk about that too. I wonder what the hell I did with it. But anyway, I mean, they were finding what they considered some type of structures or some type of, I don't know what they thought it was, but they definitely didn't think it was non-human. I mean, they thought it was something created. They didn't think it was something natural. They were all over it too when they first started talking about it, because it was like, oh no, it's not anything natural. It's something out there that was created or is part of something. This might be part of the article. A study suggests we found potential evidence of Dyson sphere and alien civilization. So this Dyson sphere has been getting a lot of attention lately.
Where is it?
It's way the hell out there, but it has something to do with the way we keep seeing the sun. For more than half a century, science has wondered searching technology for a Dyson sphere.
In the star system?
2 new studies analyzed data from stargazing's development and framework. Let's see. Each study found evidence that a handful of stars among the millions observed contain excess radiation that consists of what's potential Dyson spheres and cannot be immediately explained. So that's what the other article was about. It was about these radiation signatures that they were getting, that they don't know what the hell it is. Search for alien life came by favors by hunting Earth-like planets, looking for stars, suns, alien transmissions, but more than 60 years, one particle type search for alien worlds has centered around Dyson spheres.
Huh.
The figure, if you're there,
Tabby Star, KIC 8462852 is
you found
this.
it? Okay.
Yeah, the name of the star where they think there's a Dyson sphere.
It's and then they said more than one star. When you go through the whole entire article, it actually says more than one star. So they think there's a couple of these stars this is going on. So there's a race out there. I mean, is this like the ancients from Stargate? I mean, there's a race out there building Dyson spheres around suns.
Here's the one about Tabby's star. I just in the private chat.
Do you think it's possible that these like more advanced civilizations look down on us, just like pity us?
Some of them might.
Yeah.
Some of them might look at us as food.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, probably the only reason nobody invades Earth is because we're so high in cholesterol. They're like, whoa, wait till these people learn to thin out a little bit. We'll
Yeah, look at what they eat.
If sharks don't want to eat us, why would some alien race?
Well, sharks are a bad example. I think sharks have to eat.
Yeah, they'll eat anything that's roaming around in their face too long. But
I don't think they have
so now we got that, and then of course we got here's another article. Ah, shit. Sometimes you get fat fingeritis, man. It's the faster than light warp speed interstellar travel now thought to be possible. Now remember, for how many decades have scientists been telling, "Oh, you're fucking stupid, man. You know what you're talking about, man. It's impossible, man." Excuse my language, people, but really,
yeah.
At what point are scientists not going to learn or going to learn that the impossible is most of the time possible?
Especially when you say no.
Well, just think. So go back 1,000 years and think of everything they said was impossible. Probably 99% of that's possible today.
When the train was invented, the steam train, people said that, humans wouldn't survive going 25 miles an hour. They would turn to goo.
Oh yeah, that was a big concern too. Oh, it's like when they said if we went more than Mach 1, we would get squished.
Yeah.
And then we got up to Mach 5, and then we got up even faster than that. And then they said what the shuttle was going to do coming in was totally impossible and would kill everybody on board. And of course, we were wrong about that. But for years, they said faster than sound travel was faster than sound was impossible.
Yeah, the sound barrier could not be broken at one point.
So that isn't faster than sound. That's just breaking the. Okay, now I'm confused about something. It can't be faster than sound. So what is it? Because sound travels at the speed of light, so it can't be faster than sound.
No, sound
No,
travels
sound
at
672 miles per hour.
Sound travels at the speed of sound.
Yeah.
Well, and then I think your altitude changes the speed of it, but it's around 700 miles an hour. Sean's right.
I am definitely confused.
Mach 1 anyway. Mach 1.
I was wrong. I think it was 660 miles per hour. It's close though. 12 miles per hour off.
Yeah, well, that's right below. That's right below
77 miles per hour, but in any event, we're on the mark. Speed of light is way faster than that.
Yeah, it's 180.
And it depends on what medium too. Like the speed of sound in air is 767 miles per hour.
The further away from fireworks you are, you see the firework flash first, then you hear the explosion seconds later.
Yeah, lightning and thunder. You see the lightning, then you hear the thunder.
Yeah, and it actually depends on the temperature too. So you're talking 600 to 800 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So at 68 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 767 miles per hour. That freezing, it's 740 miles per hour.
No,
so
my brain was warping out on the first broadcast. Well, my brain was warping out on the first broadcast of Hitler for the Olympic Games because it's the furthest thing out there. But I forgot that for some reason I thought it was an audio broadcast, but it was a video broadcast. It's
And
That's why it was confusing me.
36.
Yeah. Well, a video broadcast is going to travel at the speed of light, so it doesn't. But it's because I was like, how can it be there and be there if it was only traveling at the speed of sound? But it's traveling at the speed of light. So
It's because you encode the speed of sound in a radio wave, right? So it's just you convert the actual sound signals into an electric signal. That electric signal is modulated, whatever medium, sent out,
once I realized
and
it
then
was
it's decoded into sound
Yeah.
again.
Well, once I
why.
realized it was a video broadcast, and I realized because video, back then video and audio was separate but the same. Today it's all exactly the same.
Yeah.
When we're doing this, everything is recorded as one piece.
Yeah,
There's
they
no
were using
breakthrough.
magnetic videotape back then.
So sound here is traveling as fast as the video is because it has to keep up with the video.
Yeah, it's traveling at the speed of light. But it's just because it's not the actual sound; it's the sound is converted into an electrical
that's what it is.
The electrical signal
converted.
is traveling at the speed of light.
No, Frankie, because when we were talking about the speed of light, because when I was in the Navy, I was always like, well, sound barrier is 770 or something. So I was always like, well, I know we can't be traveling speed of light, but then for some reason that stupid Hitler broadcast was sticking in the back of my head. So I had to go look up and make sure it was a video broadcast. Well, once I knew it was a video broadcast, I understood why it was sticking in the back of my head. Well, that's the first thing anybody ever sees from Earth is Hitler introducing the only thing powerful enough to get out there was Hitler introducing the Olympic Games, the first Olympic Games. Well, the first Universal Olympic Games, not the Greek ones, of course. No, I mean, that's what they hear. And then I guess they get to hear about World War II and then Lucille Ball and all sorts of other crazy shit.
Yeah.
When an alien, if it's an alien living, say, like 100 light years out, he's thinking, wow, this is going to be interesting. And all of a sudden more and more. And then, of course, the war comes. Well, he gets to see World War I and World War II. No, he didn't, did he? When did World War II start?
World War I started in 1910, and I think America got into it in 19.
No, World War I started in 1914.
1914.
So it was right after this event. So yeah, they got to see both world wars. So you're looking at our planet going, wow, these people are crazy. And plus, in between all that, you got all kind of really stupid televisions. God knows what they were watching out there. It might be like Galaxy.
And how do they know what's real and what's not?
And they don't. That's the thing. They have no clue what's real.
That's the whole premise of Galaxy Quest. I mean, those poor aliens think that the TV show was real life, so they model their whole civilization around it, and it saved them.
It's still interesting. It's because they don't know what they're looking at. They're just looking at shit going.
They could have no idea what that is, or they could go, "Hey, we used to do that,"
But there's so many. We've had so many wars and so many movies of wars and so many games of. I mean, they got to think, God, these people just like blowing shit up. Their hello to us might be blowing some shit up like New York or something. We were just saying hello, man. We just thought that's how y'all did things.
Most of our earliest strategy games are based on war, like games like Go and chess. Very similar games.
Well, people, it's a Dyson sphere, is a Dyson sphere, is a Dyson sphere, and as we get along and learn, that's pretty good. It's pretty good distance out from us. But I've been telling y'all, they've been finding this weird shit with Webb has an ability to go through planets' atmosphere. So they've now found 3 planets with microcarbons that they say can only be produced, by something mechanical.
Yeah.
Like an engine or something, combustion engine or something. So they're thinking there's at least 3 planets out there with some technology somewhere around where we are today. That's interesting, spooky, interesting. And are these planets, we don't know anything about these planets other than that. So NASA's making more and more information. And I told everybody this is part of the desensitization program. A little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit at a time. Let us get used to the fact that there's aliens other than us in the universe. And most of them are so far away we don't have to worry about it. That's the best way to introduce us to this.
Yeah, most of them.
They don't need to know of anybody visiting, but because because whoever sent that stupid comment the fact of the matter is the majority of the planet is not ready for extraterrestrial contact. Really, let's think. South America, they'll be worshiping. Oh yeah, they'll be worshiping.
Oh,
Africa, ooh, they'll probably be worshiping too, or freaking out. Let's think what the Catholics are going to do. They'll be doing a lot of praying. And a
yeah.
lot
Joe, the
more
Catholics
praying.
already know. The Catholics.
Well,
already know.
well, I was talking about the population, not the.
Oh yeah. The Vatican. The
people in
Vatican.
charge, yeah.
The Vatican.
The
probably
Vatican
knows
definitely
more than
knows.
anybody.
That
The
Vatican
pirates
definitely
of the
knows.
church. No, they know. Yeah.
What are the Muslims going to say? That's a genie, man. That's a genie. No, it's a
Well,
jinn.
they just
man. Sorry.
didn't the Vatican just release something about supernatural phenomena today? Like there was.
I heard they were going to, but I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen it come across any pages yet, so it'll probably come out tomorrow. But
I've seen some, but it's like it's very like high level.
well,
You
the
know,
Vatican
it's
is
not-
very funny. I mean, they've admitted one. I mean, they're the ones who said that extraterrestrials are probably on a higher evolutionary plane with God than we are. That was Monsignor Balducci. He actually admitted that to me in front of an audience. Which was great. And then the astronomer came out right after that. And then the Pope at the time came out and said, well, you know, God's mansion has many homes, and it is possible that there are other beings besides us. I mean, that's almost an admission by a Pope. I mean, come on. And then that all but got scrubbed off the internet. You couldn't even, if you didn't have one of the original recordings, it's like the SDS 44 video, 42 video. If you didn't happen to have a VHS plugged in at the time and get one of the original, they've all but scrubbed those. All you can get is whoever, I think Jeff Chandler's version or whoever's version that's floating around out there right now, which is still good. But the original stuff is gone. You couldn't go to NASA and say, well, this is yours. That way NASA can say, well, that was fake. Somebody made that shit. But now NASA's chilling. NASA's kind of like, well, aliens are real. Wait till we see the one. Wait till you see the footage of the alien cleaning off the rover to get its solar panels working again. That's great. And so y'all forget one of the rovers quit working. Was it 10 years ago, 12 years ago? And you could see that the panel was just crusted. It wasn't just dirty; it was crusted. You know how mud just kind of sets after it gets damp and gets crusty. Well, the next morning, not only was it clean, but it was shiny clean, like someone had taken a polished rag to it. So the rumor has always been there's been a video that shows the actual alien walking up and cleaning off the rover so it would keep running. It would be something the alien race would do just to screw with us. I can see
By the
it
way,
now.
I got I have an AP article on this thing.
You found it? Yeah, send it
Yeah, if
over.
I can just give me a second.
Johnny Loop AP is Associated Press, but
They're about as, I guess, objective as you can get because they usually try to just report the facts, but
they hold on, guys. Where did I open this up at? Let's see. Let's get out of here.
I'll do it again.
Let's get out of here. Why am I in all these windows? Let's close some of these windows out. Jesus, there we go. I got lost in the windows. That's all. It's you get too many screens open, you forget what's going on. Let's see. Let's pop it up with us. Okay. Dark matter. We must have a commercial going on here. There we go. Man, where do all these commercials come from?
AP.
Vatican. There you go. Vatican moves to adapt to hoaxes, internet, and overhauls its process for eliminating visions of Mary. Wait, what?
Evaluating.
Oh, sorry. It's I must have read right past that. Mary, why do we want to get rid of Mary?
I mean, Bledsoe's kind of like his visions and stuff like that are kind of very Marian-like.
Well, let's see. We got a play
look
button
like a
here.
lady.
Let's see what we get. Oh, well, no, we're not going to get nothing. Okay. Why don't you give me
That's
that?
just a screenshot from the video. You'll have to find it down further.
You know, the Vatican's an interesting place. I mean, you know, there's guns up here and missiles launches up here and guns over here. And, you know, for a place that represents God, there is a lot of guns. Let's just be
I mean,
honest.
they have the Swiss guards too.
They have the
who are
Swiss
Oh
guards.
yeah, they do have the Swiss guards too.
Mm.
You just kind of gotta go. Really, man. I don't know.
Yeah, they got some serious protection there.
Election.
And not just the Swiss guards; they have like other security.
Oh, they got all kind of security there. They've got all kind of special forces security there. You name it, they've got it. Let's see what we got right now. 2024 primary election. We don't care about primaries.
Are the Democrats even doing one? Like what? Like
I heard they were, but I don't.
they just quit, give up. Like what?
I don't know.
I mean, this
Biden
guy's not
said-
even campaigning. It's the most bizarre. The guy doesn't even campaign. Like what the hell is? And Trump can't campaign because they got him locked up.
Yeah, in all these cases.
Busy.
It's just bizarre. Like what is going on?
But did Biden also say that he wasn't going to debate Trump anymore?
He's debating him for sure, but was he on drugs that day? I mean, he was like, yeah, he sounded like one of them wrestling match kind of guys up there. And I'm gonna kick Trump in the nuts. I was like, oh, okay, man, what are we doing here? Okay, let's see. Trump versus Biden. New swing state poll reveals winner. One key 2024 election issue could influence. So what do y'all? So this depends who did this poll. If it's blue or red or something in between, what this key issue would be. What do y'all think this key issue is going to be? Let's see.
The economy.
New one poll swing state goes Donald Trump.
100% the economy.
A new poll of swing state. Yeah. Oh, it's going to get worse. Yeah. A new poll of swing state voters shows Donald Trump leading in 2024 potential election. One key factor could be the leading voters shying away from Joe Biden. Is he? I'm not going to say that. That just would be mean. Let's see. Well, we got audio here. Let's see. Am I in the screen up here? Where am I?
Right. You can see him.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. Present. Share. Mama. Let's see if it's this one. Is it this one? Okay. I'll put back in here with y'all. Okay. Let's see what he's got to say. Or they've got to say.
Brandon, welcome to the show.
Hey, Nate, thanks for having me.
Hey, Brian, you're going to have to pay me for this segment now, dude.
Absolutely. Look, anytime a company has anything to do with flight, space, travel, I'm always interested, hoping that you can get me a VIP treatment.
This isn't what I thought it was. What is
one time's all I was asking for.
You got man. Your name on it, man.
StreamYard, you're going to break in with a crappy commercial? Okay, I think I broke it. Okay, well, guys and girls, I don't know exactly what I did there, but I think I broke. Oh, let's see what we got. Oh, well, here we got some numbers down here. Look how sweet. Georgia, Biden. Wait a minute. Wasn't Georgia like 1% difference last year? Georgia, Biden, 39%. Trump, 49%. I don't even know what you could F up to make that change. Biden, 42, Michigan. Okay, this is a heavy blue state. Biden, 42, Michigan. Trump, 49. That's still, 7 points?
Yeah.
Nevada, 38. Trump, 50. Shit. Wow. And Nevada went hard for him last time. That's true, man. Pennsylvania, you freaking Pennsylvanians, what the hell's going on up there? 44 and 47. Let him get out there. Leave him and get out there and talk some shit. Wisconsin is for Biden. Oh, man, I'm not even believing that.
Yeah.
I guess they had to give him one because they felt bad for him. So it doesn't matter. He only needs 2 of these to win the election. Having 5 of them, I mean, what's he got? 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5 is a landslide. Plus everything else we've seen. I got to be honest. I mean, if unless something major changes, if he don't win this election, I'm going to have to cry foul like everybody else, I think.
Yeah. His popularity is just, I mean, bad press or whatever. That's what's winning him the election.
Oh, wait. So we're missing a state here. The results, Trump's leading in 5 of the 6 key states with dominant leads in several of the states. Biden leads in 1 by 2-point margin, and that's Wisconsin. I don't know what the other state is. The polls show that when voters who say they were likely to vote in 2024 election were included, Biden leads 2 states, gaining the state of Michigan. Okay. That's my poor reading is what that was. Including independent candidates R.F. Kennedy Jr. As a possible election also saw a similar result with Trump winning 5 of the 6 states.
Yeah.
But we've already talked about 100 times. Let's see what we got here. Look, people, we're not even believing anymore. It's going to be hard to sell anybody that Trump's not murderizing this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, let me get out of here, but
well, it even says there right there about JFK. I mean, or whatever, Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any effect on it. Trump wins either way. No matter how many people are on that ticket.
So seven swing states together represent 93 electoral votes, and he's no matter what, Trump looks like he's taking 5 of the 6 or 6 of the 7.
5 of the 6.
Yeah, it's I don't know, guys. Pay attention. All I can tell y'all is really keep your eyes out on this election. Let's see what's going on. Make sure there's no funky monkey business going on. Oh no, we got a couple more polls coming up before we go, but just don't with leads like when you start hearing Democrat kids or youngins wanting to vote for Trump, that's a murderous thing for the Democrats. One, they're losing a big chunk of their black vote. You know, if they lose too much of it, they're done. As a party, they're just done. If that 39 and 40% converts to Republicans, the Democrats are not just in trouble as presidency, but everywhere. I mean, that could be detrimental to them. Places where they hold Senate seats is because of that black vote, and without it, or that Hispanic vote without it, you could see them even lose seats in California. Not a lot, but you could see them lose. You definitely see them, and they don't have to lose many seats in New York to take it over. So you could see some big swings. People are upset, and if Republicans are smart, I know I'm going to regret this. If they were smart and actually did what these people wanted, all of these people, they could keep these people. Show them, one, that they're not racist pigs. That would be a good start. That they actually care about what people think and want, and just give it to them. I think you could even see a larger black and Hispanic. I think you're going to see a Hispanic vote grow no matter what, because so many of them are Catholic and other religions. So I think you'll see that over 50%. But there's other surprising votes like the Asian vote. And, there's a big, it's not that many Asians in the country, but there's a big upswell of Asians on Trump's side. But, but he's even pulling people, he's pulling Muslims. I was reading that he's pulling Muslims and Jews, because you know what? Trump hasn't said which side he was taking, so he's pulling both. Yeah,
Well, I mean, he did the Abraham Accords, right?
Yeah.
So
he wants to bring peace to the Middle East, and I think he can do it. I think if they don't put him in jail, he gets out. I think he can finish what he started. He had a big plan for the Middle East, and when he left, Joe Biden instantly pissed off the Saudi king, and he started doing business with China, which he's already regretting. Oh yeah, he's already regretting it. And somebody backed him in a corner. They're going to probably end up dead because they did. But
wait, who's regretting it? The king?
The king of Saudi. Yeah, the Saudi king, or whoever it is, the Saudi prince, whoever's running the place now. The one that got in trouble, or Saudi got in trouble for putting a guy in the vat of acid.
What is that different than Khashoggi? Or
no, it's just the same guy. I'm pretty sure the same guy. It's he did all this business with Trump, and he signed these accords with it, but now he's working with China. Remember, Saudi was even switching monies over to whatever their new Brax deal was going to be, which I kept laughing about every time I heard it. I kept hearing this. It's like, Russia don't have any money. Iran don't have any money. Pakistan don't have any money. India really don't have any money. China's trying to get some money, but they in trouble. Saudi got some money, but the rest sounds kind of like it doesn't sound like a good deal for Saudi Arabia. And I think the prince or king, whatever he is now, I think he's still prince, but I think he realized he may have effed up. Now, if Trump gets back in, Trump will come in. Saudis will be back where they're supposed to be. What are you talking about, Harold? Okay, look. We don't need to get in. We should learn a lesson about certain politics. All right, there's a lot of shit that goes on inside of our country. And you don't see the rest of the world telling us what we should be doing about it. But yet, we feel the need to go tell people what they should or should not be doing.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not for them putting a guy in acid. I think that was a chicken shit thing to do, but it's not our country. And no, he's not. Wasn't even. No, it's bullshit. He wasn't American. He was trying to be American. If he was a real American, we'd have went over and bombed the Saudis because we like to blow shit up. We can't help ourselves. In the end, it was their country. He committed the crime in their country, and it's not our job to say whether he shouldn't or whether he should have. No, he shouldn't have been put in Nevada acid. He should have just been run out the country. But are you going to end one of the best strategic things we have in the Middle East over that? Again, I don't think it was right, but are you going to really give up that strategic deal we have with? I mean, we use the Saudis for every war we fought in the Middle East as a landing pad, if nothing else. And of course, they like to go out and blow shit up too. So they were having fun going out and blowing shit up with us. So are we going to really jeopardize that and let that fall into Chinese hands? So is that a good thing? Anybody who thinks that we should let China take Saudi from us, please write to me and I will explain to you why you're a fucking moron. Okay. No, really. I'm serious. I will explain to you why you're a moron. Regardless how crappy Saudi, I don't see us getting on China's ass. I mean, China's human rights shit, they're worse than anybody on the freaking planet. And until we got mad at them, we were buying shit from them left and right.
Right.
Oh, until they tried to kill us with COVID. So, I mean, grow the fuck up. I mean, who are we going to get in bed with? The Russians? Pfft. Every time I turn around, Putin's killing somebody. I mean, Jesus. How many guys has this guy killed off now? Between oligarchs and generals. And I mean, he's got to be up in like 14, 15, 16 by now. Oh, he had the guy who owned a big yacht company because he was outside of Russia doing whatever. He had him killed because he talked shit about Putin. Oh, yeah, he was killed. Then they got the guy somewhere and they put acid all over the guy in Europe. Some guy in Europe and some guy in Asia.
Then he what's his name? Prigozhin. He had a aircraft accident. Remember the guy who ran the mutiny?
No, I remember him. I mean, it's just you know
that guy has some balls though. You got to give him that. Prigozhin had some balls. He had some big balls.
And he should have known when he gave in. He should have just kept fighting because he should have known when he gave in he was going to bite the big one. So what? We're going to get in bed with Russia, China? No, they suck worse than Saudi does by far. Who, the Iranians? Who we should be nuking off the face of the planet before they start a nuclear war?
Yeah, they do have nukes.
You know, sometimes America, you're just stupid. You need to look at America, what America needs and how America needs to be involved in the world. And giving any big ally to China is fucking stupid. Can I say that slower? Stupid. Okay. I hope y'all got that. Well, that would be like saying, hey, let's turn the Brits over to China. Oh, yeah, here you go. Shit. Actually, they got more weapons than the Brits except for nukes. So let's just not. Besides, they control the Egyptians and other people over there for us. Between them and Israeli, they control most of the Middle East. But for some reason, we think China should have them. And sometimes, man, I just wonder if everybody's living in the same country I'm living in.
Did you see what happened in Niger? We built that like multi-$100 million facility.
No, the one that was overrun.
we were forced to leave, and as we were leaving, the Russians were coming in to take it over.
Yep.
Joe Biden, man. I mean, unreal.
Yeah, they were. Somebody said they were pulling the whatchamacallit, a lot of our electronics has these little things you can pull and it melts the components inside. And I wonder how much we actually melted and how much Joe Biden was selling to the Russians. Somebody should see if he's got money going up to an account somewhere.
Yeah.
Does it matter? I mean,
No, it doesn't.
He can basically do whatever he wants, and nobody will ever prosecute him because there's
So-
different rules.
So
these people
Biden said, well, the Democrats are scared now about something. So, they were trying to get Trump on this, don't give him immunity. And then all of a sudden, Biden came out on Trump's side. So did Obama, for that matter. Both of them are kind of like, no, because if you take immunity away from Trump, you just took it away from Joe Biden, Obama, Clinton. I mean, you just opened up all these presidents to be going after. And they're all like, no, wait a minute now. This is not the idea we thought this was going to be. Because at first it sounded real good. Oh, we'll get Trump that way. But then the other presidents started thinking, no, that opens us up. No. Because every president of the country's always done something they shouldn't have. I mean, come on, Obama killed how many civilians? 25,
he was like
50,
the drone master.
I mean, he killed more children in that war than I think we've ever killed ever. I mean, it was horrible. So
I don't know. I think Truman's got one over on him.
Yeah, Truman might.
Yeah, he nuked 2 cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did nuke 2 cities. Oh, you mean Churchill? He's got a pretty good one when he let him bomb Coventry. Yeah, that was. That was one of them things. The Allies had captured one of the Germans' code breakers, and they had found out that Coventry was going to be bombed that night, pretty much the night they got the damn thing. And they had a little while, but so if they warned the city, then of course the Germans would know we had their code breaking machine, so they couldn't warn the city. They let them bomb the city into the Stone Age. So yeah, that's on somebody's head. That's on Churchill's head. That's who that's on, but.
Yeah, but then we firebombed Dresden, killed like 200,000 people.
Yeah, so it's. What do you mean, Clinton? No, there was like 53 million people died in World War II.
Hey guys, I'm gonna bail. I've been up since 5, so I'm gonna
get you some sleep. Yeah, we're getting ready to get out of here ourselves in a few minutes. Got like one more poll, but 53 million dead.
Right.
I don't know what y'all wanted about.
I'll see you next Friday.
Be good, stay out of trouble. Don't get pregnant. Or I should say, don't get somebody pregnant. Might be a better way to say it.
Well, guys, ladies pregnant.
Oh shit! It's we got 2 more polls and we got to get out of here, guys. We're already over. No, we're staying a little later because we ran late, but we started late and then Joe played "Don't Turn the fucking thing on." Don't even write to me about it because I'm the one that screwed it up, so I don't even want to be written to about it. Where was this? Let's see where we at. 270 poll. So we just said, okay, yeah, we talked about Minnesota, Florida. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, he's 7 points up in this poll in Nevada. He's 6 polls up here. He's 8. Still, these got him a little bit lower on the swing states, but he's still leading in all the swing states. He's actually leading in all the swing states here. It's this election, this could really cause a damn revolution in our country. I mean, if this was to go any way but Trump, I'm not sure how America's going to take it. I'm not even sure how the Democrats are going to take it.
I mean, they're going to be very scared. I'll tell you that.
Yes. Well, Johnny, you got to look at it from Nancy Pelosi's point of view and Chuck Schumer's point of view. And Trump didn't have enough time. He was going after him. And he had somebody looking into all of their business, but he didn't have enough time. But now he's got an idea who did what. So now when he comes back this time, and let's not forget, since then the Russian thing and all that stuff's been proven that it's not real. And pretty much that Hillary Clinton and her gang did it. So he's got a little bit more to go after him. I don't know if he's going to go after Hillary. And Hillary's so old now, it's probably a waste of time. I'm sure a bunch of people just would like to see her prosecuted, but It's probably a waste of time. Let me see. We'll go through these polls right quick. Etchlin's got Trump up by 5. By 5. Your government economist, oh shit, they got Trump up by 2. That's insane. That's like being up by 10 with these people. American New Majority, Trump's up, Trump's up, Trump's up, Trump's up, Trump's up, Trump's up. I gotta catch my breath. Trump's up, Trump, IPS, Trump, IPS. Oh, wait, here's one that's not. IPSO 2nd, May 7th, Trump's down by 1. Everywhere else. I mean, usually there's 6 or 7 of these that are on Biden's side. There's not even 6 or 7 on Biden's side today. It's the more I go through these, the more I see that, well, Biden, you're in deep shit. What do you mean, NBC? Hold on, I'll find NBC. Give me a second. I'll find it for you. Here's Fox News. Trump's up by 1. Come on, Fox. Oh, well, here's what Kennedy. Trump's up by 5. Okay, I guess we'll cheat. No, I mean, Jesus, Trump's killing him in Arizona and Georgia. And on this one, he's up by 12 in Georgia. And the only one Trump's up, Biden's up is on Michigan. All the rest of the swing states. Wait a minute. Oh, shit. This is the New York Times. We got to read this one. So, Arizona, Trump's up by 6. Georgia, Trump is up by 10. Michigan, Trump is down by 1. Nevada, Trump is up by 13. Pennsylvania, Trump is up by 5. Wisconsin, Trump is up by 1. And then when you add Kennedy in, these numbers grow even more. So in Arizona, he's up by 9. He's up by 10. He's up by Michigan. He's up by 5. I don't know. But a lot of people think that Kennedy's going to hurt Trump more than Biden. Maybe so. I could be doing crack and not realize it. It's just a word.
I mean, as soon as he says reparations, he's done.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
He's not going to get a single Republican vote. It's not going to happen.
So on this one, Trump's on this one, Trump's up by all of them. All of them, he's up winning on all of them. Let's see. Let's get this one more poll. Let's be nice and do an NBC and a CNN, and then we'll call it a night. Let's go see. Let's see. CNN. What do you got to say, CNN? Let's go see. Let's see what CNN poll says. CNS analysis. We don't care about all of that. Presidential electoral map. What do you got to say? We don't care about that. People stop. They keep trying to throw up the 2020 map. When you go looking for the map, they keep trying to throw up the 2020 to show people like he's getting crushed. But when you go to the 270 map, it's not even close. So currently, without the swing states, Trump is 272 to Biden's 225. He's already the winner. If you throw in the swing states, he's looking at like 380. Holy shit. That's a serious landslide. That's CNN. Jesus.
Yeah, it's going to keep narrowing, right? Yeah, permanent bureaucracy has to narrow that lead. So that
the problem is they look like they were trying to do it, but I don't think they can control it anymore. I think it's just gotten too crazy for even them to control.
Well, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to say, "Oh, well, polls, as you know, are not very accurate," and this, like, they're already starting to talk down the polls. They're going to try something. They're going to do something.
They're going to try something. I just don't know if they're going to be that brave to really, because it's so bad for them right now. Doing anything right now would just make them look bad.
But do you really think they're that self-aware, Joe?
I do. Some of them I do. So I don't. Whoever the crew is that's running Biden, I think it's just stupid, and I think they're going to do whatever they think they can try to do. But the party itself seems to be distancing themselves from them. I've been noticing more and more the party says they're going to vote Trump, More and more the party's just kind of stepping away from the party. I think,
Yeah, but they
like
got to
you
be
just
stepping
said,
toward something, and they're not stepping toward Trump. There's no way.
well, some of them are stepping to, most of them are stepping to the middle and just not doing anything. They're just staying there. But I think even they know that if the party tries something, they're going to get caught. They're thinking that, because even the Democrats are thinking this is going to be a landslide. I was listening the other day, and I was listening to the head of the DNC talking about, because Biden's already started making whatchamacallit, where you switch over. He's already started making plans. And,
transition team, all that stuff.
Yeah, he's already
Well,
started making
the worst one in recent memory was the Clinton transition. Remember that, when they removed letters off the keyboard and stuff like that for Bush?
Yeah, they were, every now and then people I don't know what it is.
Obama, it sounds like it was really clean. Like they kind of did all the right stuff.
Yeah, it did. It did sound like it.
Yeah.
Even though that everybody was giving Trump so much shit, they looked like they just went ahead and did what they were supposed to do. What is this? What is this? What is this? Hold on. How black men could impact black men. 50% of black men are forecast to vote for Trump.
Wow. Usually they vote 90% for Democrats.
Yeah, and this they're saying the women are going to be about 40% black women, 50% white black men. I mean, this is a fucking landslide, is what this is. I don't, and this is in MSNBC and CNN. Jesus, I don't even know what to think about that. Now, Chris, we got to go, but what is it? Anything can change. We are in May, so you got June, July, August, September, October. You got 5 months. Well, you can't count November because it's November 2nd. So you got 5 months. 5 months and some change, say 2 weeks.
Yeah, they'll have an October surprise. They always do.
So any and remember, what saved Obama his second term was Hurricane Sandy. He was losing. Remember, he was 5 points behind Mitt Romney when we were coming into the end. 5 full points. He was losing. And Hurricane Sandy came on, and then him and Governor Krispy Kreme's got up there and shook hands and showed how good Obama was, and showed how a Republican can love on, and that was it. It switched. And within a week, it switched. And Obama just cruised in. I mean, it was real close to the election. Oh, yeah. It was.
By the way, the Democrats, when they have their convention, they're going to have a lot of issues, too, because of Israel-Palestine. You watch.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be ugly.
What's that, Johnny? God loved Obama? Maybe so, because he gave him a way to win. There was nothing Mitt could do about it. Mitt had no power. There's nothing Mitt could do but sit and watch his lead just go. Besides, did any of y'all really want a Mormon to be president? Come on, did y'all? Other than the fact we could all have.
I don't know. I think one would be awesome. I think he would. Well, I don't know about Romney. He's probably the worst possible one that you could have. But I think a Mormon president would be awesome.
Well, I know some good ones, like Orson Scott Card. He'd be a good president. He'd be fun. He'd just be fun. Oh man, I fucking forgot. Excuse me, people. I was gonna
you know what a Mormon president would be that no other president has been? Honest.
That would be different. That would be different.
To be honest.
What do you mean? Who? Frankie? Excuse me. There are some presidents. Some presidents are honest. Trump's actually been honest about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff he has.
Yeah, he's too honest. That's why some people don't like it. He says from the top of his head. He doesn't think through it.
Obama, some stuff Obama, most of his stuff he kept dark and deep. That's why he don't want this immunity taken away. Well, yeah, because then we could go after him for war crimes. You can't just keep bombing babies into the Stone Age with our shit just because you felt like, oh, you know what? I had a bad day. Jimmy, call up some drones. Is that section hot right there? Yeah, go ahead, bomb that section. No, that's how he did it. And it was broadcast all over. Freaking country got all pissed about it, but guess what? He kept doing it until he got out of office. First time was about.
You know what though? I don't hold it against him. I'd rather him be overusing the drones than sending American soldiers to die in these places. It
was much easier.
100% credit for that. That's one of the things I like Obama for.
Actually, and I said this on a show one time. I was guesting on another political show out in D.C. And the guy was like, well, I understand. I said, well, I'm not the biggest Obama fan. I said, but drones were much better than anything else we could. I said, you can't blame Obama for bad information. That's on his tactical
Right.
people and on Secret Service, or not Secret Service, but CIA and them. I said all he did was order the strike based on what the military told him.
Right.
I said, he said, Secret Service come in and CIA come in, NSA come in, and then, Pentagon come in. Okay, Obama, we got the targets, no civilian casualties, go ahead. And of course, they probably knew they were lying, them no good bastards. And of course, he ordered the drone strikes, and civilians were killed along with the targets, and he got blamed for it. But really and truly, it does come down to his information. I mean, he can only make the information based on what he was given. And he's not a field operative, so he's a president. He's sitting in his office. Yeah, I caught all kind of shit for that for like 6 months. You're taking up for Obama. You did.
Yeah, look, you gotta judge person on their actions, not on who they are. Right? He gets credit for me for that because he saved American lives by doing that.
No, Bruce, he was, again, before we go, all his strikes were based on probably something the Pentagon gave him. Yeah, it could have been NSA or secret. No, it couldn't have been NSA, but it could have been CIA. Well, NSA is really national security. That's really what they do. They're not.
Well,
So
they may have intercepted communications that helped with the intelligence.
Yeah,
so.
Technically, the CIA is not supposed to do nothing inside the USA. They're supposed to be strictly outside the country, and the NSA is supposed to be strictly inside the country. That's where it's supposed to work. And the FBI is kind of supposed to be, let's watch over these agencies and make sure they don't do something crazy. Well, it's not how it works anymore. And of course, we have Department of Homeland Security, which I don't even know who runs them. And then we have space.
Well, I thought NSA was just signals. They just do signals intelligence, regardless of where it comes from.
Well, no, they're supposed to be national security. That's what they're supposed to be. National Security Agency. That's their name, and that's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be anything inside the USA that's not kosher. They're supposed to handle, and they are the ones that run Project. There's 3 of them. They run Green Lantern, and I can't remember the other 2's names, and they're all keyword things. That's what they all do. One's a little bit older, but it's still in operation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what it does, so we're having a conversation right now. This whole show was keyworded. Not just this show, pretty much everything being spoken, which, by the way, is supposed to be illegal. But we know it's true because thanks to, what's his name, that went to Russia, he brought a lot of the information that was just being spoken between people. And he used one of the programs, Echelon was on the other programs. It's all these programs did. So let's say that Sean and I said something we shouldn't have. Tomorrow morning, or even tonight, depending on the intensity, we would have got a knock from the FBI. The NSA would have dispatched someone in the FBI to come talk to us about what was said. Now, we're going to be sitting here going, well, how did you hear that? But we're live on the radio, so they could just say somebody heard it and reported it. So they'll dispatch somebody to come out. Now, they may not even dispatch anybody if they look over our records and realize, okay, well, these guys aren't a threat. They're just doing radio and running their mouths. They're not even going to send somebody out because we're not a threat. But if we look like we might be a threat, they would send somebody out to see what the response team was. Oh, yeah, and it happens all the damn time. Well, because sometimes people get carried away. How do you think they find out so much about us? It's, yes, they infiltrate groups, but for the most part, they're listening. I mean, come on. Every one of us, it doesn't matter what American you're, even if fucking kids have one of these. Okay, every one of us. So first off, everyone's got a GPS. And America, another thing that cracks me up about y'all is you think the GPS is some little system in space that we do so we don't get lost. No, the GPS belongs to the military. Even China don't have its own GPS. It's our GPS. Everybody uses our GPS. It's deep space out, not deep space, but they're out a good ways out, and they show everything on the planet. And that's what they're for.
The Russians have GLONASS. They have their own little system.
Yeah, they got what they call I forgot what they call it. They had a special name for it. And China wants one. And
GLONASS.
But I mean they had a for the type of system it was oh hell, man, my memory's shut tonight. But It was just like we call it GPS. They had a for how much range it covered is what they had a name for. Sorry, I couldn't get it out of there. But no, our GPS covers the entire thing. The problem is China can't put any satellites out there because we'll probably shoot them down. Neither can Russia. We consider that sovereign U.S. territory where those satellites are. Oh no, China has accidentally sent missiles out there that have accidentally come close to our GPS, and China bitched because they disappeared. So obviously there's some kind of defense out there. I have no idea what it could be. Not even a clue. Not even a clue. And then now we've got Elon Musk, who is basically spreading a low altitude, satellites all across the planet. There's nothing going to go on we don't know about. And what gets me is countries like China and Russia want to use it. Oh, yes. So China, this cracks me up. First off, this tells me something about China right off the bat. So China asked to use Elon Musk system. And Elon said, okay. They were paying for it. So they had Elon's Earthlink all across their country. And you know what the U.S. government was doing, because the U.S. government was paying for the Ukrainian version of this. They were taking
hacking into it probably.
No, he was giving it to them willing. He gave them the information. All the information from Russia was giving to the Ukrainians. And then somebody leaked it. So America said, to save Elon's ass, said, oh, no, you have to shut this crap down. You can't be letting the Russians use this. So now they're going to take it away from Russia eventually. But the Russians still are broadcasting information over it. And then wait, you know how 14 generals got killed in Ukraine, people? 14? You know what? You know what the secret weapon was? Hacking a cell phone. Stupid generals, and we have to say stupid generals, instead of using a coded line or a locked line, were calling home on their cell phone. And guess what the Ukrainians were doing? Whoop, like a movie, locked in. Shh. Pow. 14 generals died that way. 14. I mean, how do you do 14? I would have been firing everybody in my entire staff would have been getting fired or shot or whatever they do in Russia these days. And let's not forget, Russia just mounted 500,000 troops in the Ukraine. So let's see how many of them get killed. But we got to go, guys. I need food. Sean's got 10 kids he's got to take care of and 3 wives. And I think, it's 4 wives. I'm sorry, 4 wives and 10 kids. What do you mean? You can't, it's illegal to have that many wives. Well, he wasn't from the United States when he got married them all, so there's nothing they can do about it but let him have them.
Yeah, I'm originally from Ethiopia. Can't you tell?
He'd say he brought his it's like Elon Musk being the richest African American, same kind of thing. He brought his 4 wives and his 10 kids here, and they're using all of them. Too. Yeah, he brought some cows, some weird looking things with some weird heads, horns on them and shit. Yeah. Well, if y'all believe all of that, we have some land we want to sell y'all down in the swamp. Oh no, it's not underwater. It's perfect. Might be a couple of alligators laying around, but other than that, it's good dry land.
It's actually the secret ruins of Atlantis.
That's right.
Don't know.
It is Atlantis. And Marie Laveau's buried there as well. So we're just trying to help you people out. All bids start at 100,000 and up, and we'll go from there.
And that's per square foot.
That's right. So be sure. Oh, this makes Oak Island look like this. And what? Have they found anything in Oak Island? People tell me about it all the time, but nobody ever tells me if they find anything. I quit watching it because they were always finding boards. Look, you can only, I don't care if they found gold or not. You can only watch so many boards being pulled out of the ground. It's like watching tennis or darts. And I used to play darts and I couldn't sit there and watch it for hours. I'd be like, ooh, you want to know? Maybe paint drying. Yeah, that's even a better comparison. Paint drying. There you go. But on that note, we got to get out of here. Sean, tell them where they can find you on Sunday, babe.
So you can find me at Through a Glass Darkly Radio. And I will be interviewing Joshua Cutchin on the ecology of souls. And that's this Sunday at 6:10 p.m. Pacific time, 9:10 p.m. Eastern.
Well, y'all be sure to stop by and check him out. I will be on tomorrow on the Arthur's Quill with, we have one guest, and then we have Pat Henry from DragonCon will be on. It's an interview I did while I was in LA. So it was a lot of fun. Y'all enjoy it. Also, we will be starting a new show tomorrow with Echo Chernick. She's one of the illustrating judges over at, actually, she's the coordinating judge for Writers of the Future. For Writers of the Future's illustrators now. So, but she has her own show on our network now. I hear there could be nipples involved. I'm just saying. That's what I hear. Asshole, I'm being serious. Don't make me pull out the I-95 song. Do not make me pull out the I-95 because I will. If y'all don't know what it is, look it up. On that note, good night. Stay tuned for Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott for the first time I got his name right in 6 years. I'll talk to y'all all next week. Have some fun. Enjoy your life, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Let Scott Bakula. I thought Scott Bakula.
No
was in
Scott
charge of the show.
Bakula tonight.